Scott D'Amore may have robbed a bank, but he's lucky Anthem turned down his offer, or else he would have been the one getting robbed. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. And Dave Meltzer has come out, and he apparently has information. He has statistics. He has a figure on the amount of money that Scott D'Amore attempted to pay in order to snatch TNA away from the parent company, Anthem. So Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com was told by sources close to the negotiations and one person involved that the offer was, wait for it, $10 million. Meltzer claims that Scott D'Amore was going to pay $10 million. And I don't know which one of these sounds more ridiculous. The fact that Scott D'Amore was going to pay $10 million or the fact that Scott D'Amore somehow has $10 million. But Dave Meltzer stated the following. He says, quote, "One, note it for clarity that it was $10 million plus assuming all existing debts the company had as well as the trade debts, so that Anthem itself would walk away with $10 million in the bank out of the deal. The D'Amore Group believed the company value was between $7 million and $12 million. Anthem turned down the offer cold without a counter offer made." End of quote. So the Scott D'Amore Group, I'm assuming Scott D'Amore doesn't have $10 million in the bank. I'm assuming he's not made $10 million in his 20 years of working at TNA. So is it safe to assume that Scott D'Amore had a backer here? Scott D'Amore had someone that he had maybe went to and he sold them this dream of, here, we should spend $10 million on TNA because it could be profitable to you in the future. So basically, Scott D'Amore is trying to bullshit someone into funding him to pay for TNA.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I actually do not see how TNA is worth $10 million. And to think, like, yeah, it had to be via a group because there's no way Scott D'Amore has made $10 million while in TNA. I think it's safe to say that's out the equation.
And even if it has, what about cost of living and stuff like that? Yeah. You tell me D'Amore's...
Yeah, but also, say he had $10 million, that means he's leaving himself potless.
For a company that's worth nothing?
Aye. No, when you think of what ECW, WCW was bought for.
Peanuts? I think WCW was bought for, was it like $2 million?
Aye.
Or 2.2 or some...
Aye, something like that.
Some small figure like that. And look, I'm not denying that the TNA library would be cool to have, but if Scott D'Amore buys it, he's buying TNA, and TNA already have the library. So it's not really a big purchase. It's not really a big factor for Scott D'Amore. Now, if AEW or WWE are buying it, then you can argue that's a motive for buying it because they're getting the library. But if Scott D'Amore bought it, then it's not like he's getting an extra library he can use. He's just getting the library that comes with TNA. And what good's the old TNA library when it's in the past and irrelevant? At least AEW and WWE could use that. Like the current TNA library, the entire library just isn't really that beneficial to TNA. It'd be a lot more beneficial to WWE and AEW.
Now, TNA's dead, though. You gotta look at WCW. When Vince bought it, it was to put the final nail in the coffin. If this was 2010, when TNA was still big and going toe-to-toe with WWE, I think he would have bought it if he... But the problem is, that's TNA like 14 years ago. It's done.
It was, but...
$10 million's pissing in the wind to WWE, but why would they buy it? It would be $10 million for a library.
But TNA don't really... I think for WWE it would be worthwhile because TNA don't do anything with the library. They don't use it. They don't promote it. They don't...
Just rob us a 10 quid.
Yeah, they don't use it to their benefit. Whereas with WWE, they've got some... Their current roster has got guys that spent a lot of time in TNA. So first of all, WWE could put the entire TNA library on their network. That would be another selling point for the network. You think of like Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, like if they wanted to make documentaries on those guys, if they want to do the best of AJ Styles or whatever, or a best of Kurt Angle documentary on the network, they can now include their entire work in TNA. And for me, that's a massive deal. You look at AEW right now, they've got Samoa Joe as their world champion. I'm sure they could use a lot of stuff from Samoa Joe and his time in TNA? What if AEW wanted to release a DVD, the best of Samoa Joe? Right now, what's the best of Samoa Joe look like in AEW? Not a lot, but if you could add all Joe's work that he did in TNA to that, so yeah, definitely the TNA library I think is beneficial more to AEW and WWE. But what's the TNA library? How's that beneficial to TNA when they don't use it? They don't plan on using it?
Who's the biggest person in TNA that can benefit for the library? I mean, you're looking at like a Rhino, a Bully Ray.
Yes, but here Scott D'Amore was in charge and he didn't use the TNA library.
Yeah, so why would he?
So why is that TNA library going to be a beneficial factor to him if he pays 10 million? Unless he thinks he can pay 10 million and sell it on in the future for more. But in terms of him paying 10 million for TNA, the library is the main selling point, and he never used the library when he was in charge. At least you can argue if WWE or AEW pay for TNA, they might use the library, they might promote the library, they might get money off the library, they can sell the library, they can make money from it through DVDs, putting it on the network, blah blah blah, using it to try and promote wrestlers who have worked in TNA. But the old TNA stuff was very rarely fucking used when Scott D'Amore was the man in charge and doing the booking. So if he pays 10 million for that, like what? He's not really getting it.
All it's used for, if there's a big moment in another company, they'll upload like a YouTube video of a full match of that said.
That's pretty much it. Christian Cage has a ladder match on Dynamite. Oh, look at this! Christian Cage's first ladder match on TNA Impact.
Buddy.
I mean, I think 10 million. I think 10. If WWE's paying it, I think it could be worth it.
Yeah, but
or AEW. But Scott D'Amore, fucking no chance. And I wonder what idiot is going to give Scott D'Amore $10 million to buy TNA, a company that, let's be honest, wasn't profitable when it was good. So I highly doubt it's fucking profitable now.
No, but it's incredible to think that like the Miz is on like what, 2 million annually. So like TNA's only worth 5 times the Miz is every year. Even then, I think 10 million's too much.
I don't think 10 million's too much if the right person's buying it.
If we take out the library, I know it's a big... Take out the library, right?
But whose contracts are you getting?
No, but take out the...
Yeah, this isn't like WC... I know WWE didn't really get the contract with WCW, but it's like, say you get these contracts with everyone to... Oh, you've got fucking Chris Sabin's contract. Whoop-de-doo.
No, take out the library. How much is TNA worth?
So what
There's no library, it's just what is there is what you get.
You're getting the rings, the wrestlers' contracts, what's it worth?
I'd feel hard done by
about 500k or something.
Yeah, so it's enough, it is living off a name.
Like, what else do they have? It's like, the Impact Zone is not even like, that's not theirs, they got rid of that.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm pretty sure they only ever rented that out. Like, what do you actually physically get if you buy TNA outside of the library? What are you getting? Maybe some contract.
Some yard in Orlando.
I mean, but they're all shit. They're all fucking shit. Have they got any Dom West brown paper bags left over? I know plastic bags are what, 40p?
R.I.P. Don.
I mean, maybe if you get enough plastic bags, brown paper bags, that can add to the cost of the 10 mil. But I think Scott D'Amore and whatever group he managed to somehow convince to give him $10 million has been saved here. The Scott D'Amore group. What a failure that would have been. Funny though, Anthem did not accept the offer and they didn't make a counter offer. So does that mean Anthem think that TNA is worth more than 10 million? Or do they just not want to sell it if they have no interest in selling it?
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But bigger news, bigger fish to fry. The Rock is scheduled for next SmackDown. How good's that? That's bigger than any fucking TNA deal that could possibly happen.
That's probably worth more than 10 million alone. Yeah, anyway, guys, we'll catch you in the next one. Let us know your thoughts down below. Is TNA worth 10 million? Did Scott D'Amore get a lucky escape here? And have Anthem just robbed themselves out of an easy payday?
It's worth 10 million, right? If you buy it and Tony Khan coked out his head one night, buys it for 20 off you the next night. You're not profiting.
Or you can convince all the stars for like the mid to late 2000s to come back. Even though most of them are fucking crippled.
Should Scott D'Amore, since he's in charge, like you say, should he not be already putting plans in motion? Like, I mean, it's just a name. It's just a fucking name. What was TNA worth before the 13th of January 2024? 10p? 10 cents?
It'll be the same shite, wouldn't it?
Oh, I know, but you're buying a name. You're buying a brand that's been dead a long time. I mean, WWE's worth in the billions. TNA's...
Yeah, everything that made TNA no longer exists. Everything that made TNA good's done.
Yeah,
it's all over. So you're basically, this would be like it's just paying for I mean, it's not. I can't even use a WWF comparison. But the whole change back to TNA, it'd be like if WWE announced that they were changing back to WWF. You get fucking morons that would be marking it, going, oh, it's going to be great. Oh, we're going to get hardcore. Oh, we'll get The Rock and Austin. And, oh, we get the Divas. You ain't getting shit. It's just a name change. TNA has changed back from Impact Wrestling to TNA, but do you have what you had previously when it was TNA? No, it's basically what you were getting under Impact Wrestling, but they've changed the name. Maybe the colour design's been changed as well. It's a joke.
No, it is a joke, and I mean, Scott D'Amore, fair play, whoever he got to sign off on giving him.
Where's Kurt Angle? Where's Kurt Angle? Where's Sting? Where are they?
I mean, Kurt Angle's painkillers alone are worth more than TNA these days.
Kurt Angle probably spent about $10 million on fucking painkillers. Anyway, guys, I need to end this video because if we talk about TNA anymore, I'll need painkillers. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.